Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. So we will read Canto 3, chapter 25, verse 20. Prasangamajaram pasham
Prasangam ajaram pasham
Atmanaha kavayo vidhu
Atmanaha kavayo vidu
Saeva sadhushu krito
Saiva sadhu shukrito
Mokshadvaram apavritam.
Mokshadvaram apavritam.
Can someone recite, please?
I want to recite, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prasangam ajaram pasham
Prasangam ajaram pasham
Atmana kavayo viduhu
Atmana
Vayo
viduhu
Saiva sadhu shukrito
Saeva sadhushu krito
Mokshadvaram apavritam.
Mokshadvaram apavritam.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Someone else, please.
Hare Krishna. I'm sorry, go ahead, Mataji. Go ahead, Mataji. Please do. Prasangam ajaram pasham
Prasangam ajaram pasham
Atmana kavayo viduhu
Atmana kavayo viduhu
Saeva sadhu sukrito
Saeva
Sukrito Mokshadvaram apavrutam. Mokshadvaram apavrutam. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Translation. Every learned man knows very well that attachment for the material is the greatest entanglement of the spirit soul. But that same attachment, when applied to the self-realized devotees, opens the doors of liberation. It's a very beautiful verse. It is spoken by Lord Kapila to his mother Devavati. So Mother Devavati is lamenting that, I did not take advantage of sadhu sangha. Kardama Muni was a sadhu. Okay, but actually she's out of humility she's saying that, but actually she has served Kardama Muni nicely, and even we read that Kardama Muni has given all his spiritual benefits to her. So without even doing any austerities or any kind of devotional service, she got all the realizations which Kardama Muni already has. So that is the power of sadhu. So because she had that association, she's hankering for more association of the sadhus, and the Lord Himself has come as a sadhu, as a Kapila Muni, and she is begging for his association. She wants to know who exactly she is and what is her relationship with the Lord, with the Brahman, with Parabrahman. So Lord Kapila becomes so happy when he hears from her mother these questions, that she wants to know who she is actually in reality. So sadhus are really happy when someone approaches them and asks this question, that who am I and why I'm suffering in this material world. The same thing happened when Sanatan Goswami, actually, when he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he asked the same question, Ami ke, who am I? And why am I suffering these threefold miseries in this world? Adibhautik, Adhyatmik, and Adidaivik. Miseries through own body and mind, miseries through other living entities, miseries through natural calamities. So why am I here and what is my purpose? So when such questions are asked, sadhus become so happy. and they respond to such questions. So when similar questions were asked by Mother Devahuti, Lord Kapila became very happy, and he spoke that the only way to attain liberation from all the pains and to know who exactly you are, self-realization, you have to associate with a sadhu or sadhus. That's the very first step. So to associate with sadhu, you should have some slight shraddha, because because of the shraddha, they were able to question, because of shraddha, who am I? Why am I facing all these troubles and miseries in this world? That question should come in the heart, and that questions come only to a pious soul who have sukruti, some kind of sukruti. Something is there in them that is attracting them to transcendental um, realm. They want to know about the spiritual world. They want to know about spiritual realm. They want to know about Atma. Okay, they want to know about Brahman and Paramatma and Bhagavan. So there something is there. So with that Shraddha, they approach sadhu, sadhu sangha. So that is a process. And sadhus, when they hear such questions from the jiva, they become very happy, because the main purpose of sadhu to walk around the earth, on this earth, in this universe, is to help such jivas who are quote unquote ripe souls, who are ready to take up bhakti, devotional service, and leave this cycle of birth and death, birth, death, and janma mrityu jara vyadi, jara, old age and disease, dukkha doshanu darshanam. See, many people who are not pious, they know that they are suffering, but they don't know what to do with that. But whoever is little pious, they question, why am I suffering? Why is there an alternative for this? Is this a material life? Is this how support is supposed to be? Like birth, death, old age, and disease, and again repeat, and again repeat, and repeat, and repeat. There should be some solution for this. But many don't think like that. They think that it is what it is. Birth, death, old age, and disease, because they are so much ignorant. They're covered by Maya that they don't even question that, because they don't have Shraddha about the higher powers, about spiritual reality. So the pious people, they have these questions in their heart. There should be some way out. And Lord in the heart, He is hearing all those things, and He will make arrangement for that jiva to meet sadhu. Okay, and that who is pious soul, they'll know that if I engage in material activities, I will be more and more entangled. If I get attached to my possessions, my beauty or my power, my wealth, my family background, or my community or my country, if we get attached to such things, it is just an entanglement, just simply an entanglement. So whoever is pious and learned, they know that they should not be attached to these temporary things, because none of them are going to help or save. Neither education, neither own strength or beauty, or any kind of power or intelligence, a country, or any kind of science and technology, they are not going to help or give solution to the cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. So we have seen, this human civilization since millions of years, but no one till date has found any solution for birth, death, old age, and disease. No one was able to stop birth and death. No one is able to stop old age. No one is able to stop disease. one disease or after, then some disease is there. Today we cure something, but tomorrow something else will come. And there are many other living entities which causes disease. As we know, there are many viruses around, many bacteria around. We create one vaccine for one virus, but some other virus will come, something else will come. This is adibhautik kleshas, different kind of kleshas that constantly. So whoever is learned, they know that nothing can actually help them. So they question, in that case, what is that can help me? The only thing that can is yoga, bhakti yoga. So they approach sadhus. They just divert their attachment for the temporary material things that they have. They just shift the same attachment towards a sadhu. So attachment is desire. Attachment is a nature of is a symptom of consciousness. Okay. So if a jiva is there and jiva has consciousness, the soul, the symptom of soul is consciousness, and the symptom of consciousness is to be aware, to desire, to accept, to reject, those kind of things. So we always have desires. So that desire should be shifted from material to spiritual. So a pious soul will divert his attachment towards a self-realized devotee, a pure devotee. And at once, his door for liberation will open up. So here it is mentioned, Kavayo. Kavayo means learned person or pious person. Sadhu. When he is attached to sadhu, his moksha dwaram will be opened. Means the door to liberation will be opened. And here Prabhupada is explaining that, as a soul, we always want to be attached to something. We always have desires. We don't want to be attached to material things. We don't want to have material desires. This is not suggested by Vedas, Shastras. Shastras say that we should divert those to spiritual reality, towards sadhu. We should be attached to process of bhakti. We should be attached to sadhus. We should be attached to Lord. So sadhu, bhakti, and Bhagavan. We should be attached to these three things. Center is Bhagavan, center is Krishna, and sadhu is a transparent via medium, and the process to keep Krishna in center is bhakti. Basically, what is sadhana? You always want to bring Krishna into center. That is what sadhana means. Sadhana means it's a constant endeavor to always bring Krishna into center and serve him favorably, without any contamination of karma or jnana, without any material desires. Okay? So people actually who are not intelligent, they show this attachment or desires on material objects, like cats and dogs. He's properly given example here that if someone doesn't have a children, they get attached to cats and dogs. So the best attachment is to be attached to Supreme Personality of Godhead or his devotee. So who is a sadhu? How do you know who is a sadhu? So sadhu is one who doesn't do asat sangha. He is a sadhu. Sadhu is one who does sat sangha. What is sat? Sat means which has eternal existence. Asat means which has temporary existence. A sadhu is a one who associates with sat things, who associates with eternalities. And asadhus are the one who associate with asat sangs. Asat. So sat sangha. So sadhu is identified by one who does sat sangha. So sadhu does sat sangha internally and externally. Internally, we cannot see because we don't know what kind of satsanga is doing internally, because it is very confidential. But externally, we can see how a sadhu behaves, his behavior. You know, he's titikshava, he's tolerant, he's peaceful, he doesn't have any enemies, he doesn't associate with the with the things for material sense gratification. He doesn't treat others as the object of any sense enjoyment. He doesn't associate with people who are sensual, who are after running after sense enjoyment, who are running after material things like wealth and power, and who doesn't waste time in material endeavors. They just focus on their Ishtadev, Radha Krishna, and their main aim is to how to serve the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. So they are sadhus. So externally we can see who are sadhus. Vacho Vegam, Jiva Vegam, Udara Upasta. So who control his anger, who control his words, and who control his tongue, belly, and genitals, and who is very peaceful and who can give instruction to everybody. He's a sadhu. So with such people, we have to associate. When we associate with such people, what happens is moksha dwaram, the door to liberation will open up. Because what does it mean? Then we will know the reality that where we are right now is temporary world. They will show us that there's an eternal world where we can dwell eternally, where there is no birth, death, old age, and disease. So we will know the spiritual reality. When we know that, we become fearless. We become fearless because Krishna says in Gita that a soul can never be destroyed by any weapon. It cannot be burned in the heat or fire, or it cannot be wet by water. It is completely spiritual substance. So Sadhu will explain all those things. He will actually help us realize the transcendental reality about Radha and Krishna. You know, who is Krishna and how to serve them. So Sadhu will help us become a devotee. He will not tell you to increase your material prosperity. He will tell you to become a good devotee, a lover of Radha and Krishna. Worship them nicely. Be attached to Radha and Krishna. So he's our true friend. He is friend of everybody. Sadhu is a friend of everybody. He doesn't have any enemy. He wants that everybody do devotional service and be liberated. So when Sadhu speaks about Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's glories of holy name, Nam, his form, Roop, his qualities, his guna, his leelas, his pastimes, and about his Parshad Parikars, about his Dham, when he speaks all those things, he's speaking from transcendental realm. So they all are spiritual. And when that enters into our heart gets purified. Our hearts gets purified and all the contamination is gone at once. And we are no more interested in any kind of material endeavors. So here in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mahaprabhu says that Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoye. Sadhu Sangha Sarva Shastra Koye. Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoye. Even simply by moments association with Sadhu, one can attain perfection. There are many examples like that. When Narad Muni gave his mercy to the hunter Migrari, he became a devotee. He gave his mercy to the demigods, Nalakuvara and Manigrava. They attained mercy. They had darshan of Krishna in Gokul. And Haridas Thakur, he gave mercy to a prostitute. She became a great devotee and she has her own disciplic succession. Her name is Chintamani. So her disciplic is still there. Her disciplic line, parampara, is going on still right now. So she got initiated by Haridas Thakur just by having sadhu sangha of Haridas Thakur for 3 days. She was just hearing the chanting of Haridas Thakur continuously for 3 days. Haridas Thakur was chanting Namacharya, is a Namacharya, his title given by Mahaprabhu himself. And she was just hearing the holy name from the lips of the pure devotee, Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur. And she became completely purified. She gave up all her money and she all her jewelry, and she wore white sari, and she removed her hair, and she became a sadhavi. She became a devotee, sadhu. And she also started initiating. She also has many disciples. That is one. And there is one more where Jagai and Madai, they are so fallen that they committed so many sinful activities, but they had association of Lord Nityananda Prabhu for a moment. Even they were actually attacking Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur. They ran away. Timely, Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu ran away from the spot. But second time when they met, Madai actually hit Lord with a broken pot on the forehead. But still, Nitai was asking him to chant Gauranga, take shelter of Gauranga. Stop all the sinful activities. You're just increasing your time in hell. But still he forgave. He was so tolerant. He was so peaceful. He didn't made Madai as his enemy, Lord Nityananda Prabhu. And when Mahaprabhu came, he wanted to punish Madai, but Nityananda Prabhu stopped and said that Jagai stopped him from hitting second time. Then Mahaprabhu gave love to Jagai, and eventually Madai also got purified, and he begged for forgiveness. And Gauranga Mahaprabhu gave him Krishna Prem to Madai also, and asked him to commit no more sin. Now just constantly chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And since that day onward, they were just chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, serving all devotees. They built the ghats and they were serving the devotees. They were cleaning the ghats. They were offering obeisances to Vaishnavas. They were crying. They were begging for forgiveness. And they were chanting 192 rounds every day. Jagai and Madai, after associating with Nityananda Prabhu. And by getting the mercy of Mahaprabhu. So that is the power of Sadhu Sangha. So that is what our attachment should be diverted to Sadhu, a self-realized devotee. That is very important. A Sadhu is also called Mahatma. The word Mahatma is used very loosely for different kind of people, but Mahatma is actually a Vaishnava, a Sadhu. Okay. So by rendering service to Mahatma, our doors to spiritual world will open up. What does it mean our doors to spiritual world will open up? It means that we will end up on the same loka where they reside. So where do sadhus reside? Their sadhus reside in Golok Vrindavan. They are always internally chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and serving Radha and Krishna in their spiritual body, day and night, 24/7. They are serving Radha Krishna in their Ashtakali Leela. So by sadhus mercy, they will let us into their loka, into their world by their mercy. That power they have. So they will let us in, and actually this is just a result, not the goal. The goal is they will reveal our relationship with Radha and Krishna, and where we can serve them wherever we are, in the material world or spiritual world. But it happens to be that they will take us Golok Vrindavan with their power. Srila Prabhupada said that just hold on to my dhoti, hold on to my lotus feet, that's what it means, and I will take you to Golok Vrindavan. Just follow my instructions. Just follow my instruction. What is the instruction? Chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra nicely without any offenses, and following regulative principles, and eventually develop that service attitude towards pure devotees. Yeah? Service internally and service externally. So that going to Golok Vrindavan is just actually an unsought result. It is not like, oh, I have to go to Golok, I have to go. It's not that. The moment they know who they are, what is the relationship with Radha and Krishna, automatically they don't care where they are, whether they are on earth or in heavenly planets or lower planetary system or in Golok, because they are always serving Radha and Krishna internally by chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra constantly. So though they may appear to be in this world, they are always in Golok Vrindavan. So that is the benefit of being with sadhus, that they will pull you to their consciousness. Prabhupada often gives an example. If a person associates with drunkards, he'll become drunkard. If a person associates with a stock market broker, he will become a stock market broker. If a person associates with sadhus, he will become a sadhu. And what do sadhus do? They serve Radha and Krishna in Golok Vrindavan, and that's what they will also make us do, because that is our natural position. Because once we attain the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna, that is the highest achievement. There is nothing else to be achieved, and that is the highest satisfaction, and that is the highest happiness. Because in this world, we do so many things. We achieve something. Okay, what's next? Then we achieve something. What's next? What's next? What's next? We're always like running behind some kind of karmic activities. But once we achieve the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna, there is nothing to be achieved. You are fully satisfied. You are fully peaceful. You are fully in bliss. And that is the highest achievement. That is what sadhus can give. And sadhus are, their achar and prachar are in sync. What they do internally and how they conduct and what they preach, they all are in sync. Because it is very famous saying that, nowadays many say that, do what I say, don't do what I do. So what I'm doing, don't do that, but what I'm saying, you should do that. But that will not work. A sadhu is, what he says, he does that. And that is very effective. So lead by example. And that's why they are very powerful. Sadhus are very powerful. When we associate with such people who do what they say, it's very effective. It's very effective. And that will help an ordinary person immensely to follow in their footsteps. So it's very important to catch hold of lotus feet of sadhus, have your favorite sadhu, and always meditate on their lotus feet, and always meditate on how they are serving Lord, and also increase your desires, spiritual desires, to serve, to assist that sadhu in serving Radha and Krishna. So then in that way, our life will be successful. We don't need to get into this petty quarrels and politics and diplomacy, and running behind power and all these things. They all are superfluous. They all will die. They all will go away with once this body goes away. But what remains with Atma is the spiritual potency that we get from sadhu. Sadhu will clearly explain the Radha Krishna's pastime. He will actually show a glimpse of the Radha Krishna pastimes. And by more mercy, he will even pull you into the Radha Krishna's pastimes. So that is the power of sadhu. Okay? So for that, we need to prepare ourselves. Sadhus are very merciful. They're ready to give. But are we ready to take? That's the question. Am I ready to take? If Radha and Krishna come today, will I leave everything and go with them? That is the question we have to ask to ourselves. Do I have any kind of material attachment? If Radha Krishna comes today, right now, am I ready to go with them? So, yeah, it's something to think about. Do I have any kind of strong attachments towards anything? That honest, we should have honest check. Okay. So yeah, I will pause here. If anybody have any questions, any comments, any reflections. So this is when we Shraddha, it starts everything. Prabhupada also mentioned here, Shraddha, then we can Sadhu Sangha, then Bhajana Kriya. We start doing bhajan, then all contamination will go away. Anartha, Nivrutti, Nishtha, we get stability. Ruchi, we get taste. In holy name, we get taste in serving a particular associate of Radha and Krishna in their footsteps. Ashakti, we get Ashakti in Radha and Krishna's seva. Then we have the bhava coming up, vibhava, and ultimately prema. So these are various steps. The lot of sadhakas get stuck in bhajan kriya and anartha nivritti stage. The moment they attain rich ruchi, things move very fast. Ruchi, asakti, bhava, prema, things move very fast. So we need to be honest with ourselves, and we need to see where we are, what is our condition, and seek more and more association of sadhus. You know, wherever sadhu comes, you go run to them and hear from them. Hear from them, sadhus. Thank you, everybody. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you very much for the class. Pranams to you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you. Do you have any comments or questions, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Prabhu, you mentioned some external seva and internal seva, right?
Yes.
So what is internal seva, Prabhu?
So this is, I'm talking about sadhus. So who are selfless people, who are selfless devotees. Their internal seva is they are serving Radha and Krishna in their spiritual body, in their Siddha Deha.
Okay.
I'm not talking, I was not mentioning about the sadhaka, the practitioners. I'm talking about devotees.
Okay.
Internally they serve. Externally is that they are not attached to sense gratification. They don't associate with people who are attached to sense gratification. They're not behind money and power and fame. They just want to give mercy. And Nitai God's mercy to everybody freely.
Okay, body Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much for the class.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Okay. See you next week. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Kripa Sindhu Devasha Pakanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Grandra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Sitanath Premanand. Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.